Wahaha! Welcome back to day number 13, and today's theme was Fangs. And I had a few different ideas, but I saw this pose and I just loved the idea. It was so fun and fierce, and it was really fun to just do an expression that I wasn't used to doing. And honestly, I think it hit... Bleh, I can't even talk, I'm too excited. I think it came out really, really good. I don't typically do a lot of expressions in my art. I don't have a good reason for that, but anyway, my idea for this one was like a vampire who's dressed up. Honestly, I don't really know what she would have been dressed up like, but anyway, she's dressed up maybe for Halloween or something, and she's trying to scare the kids away. But I had a lot of fun just kind of bringing this pose to life, and I did have a few blunders. You may see a few lines that ended up being where they weren't supposed to, because like a couple of the fingers and the hands ended up looking kind of strange. And then I ended up lining one of the arms weird, so thankfully I have my Dr. P.H. Martin's bleed proof white or something like that. That stuff is amazing. If you need an amazing whiteout and you can afford it, it's not very expensive. I would get that. This stuff is amazing. It blocks out pretty much everything. And of course, I won't do it right away because I want to add some layers of color first. But when you do see me add it, I don't know if I filmed it or not, but it will go away eventually, and that stuff looks amazing. So I'm just really happy that it worked as well as it did. So I wasn't really sure how to color this one at first, and I surprisingly did not do the background first. I went in with her hair because I knew I wanted it to be a dark gray. I don't know if I end up darkening it or not, but I wanted to go in with a little bit of a dark gray just to kind of break up some of the color, because I knew that I wanted her top to be red and her headpiece to be red, so I decided to go ahead and make her hair darker instead of white. Plus her earrings are also red. Her earrings are so cute. They're supposed to be like little tassels, and I just love it. So I ended up making her skirt black just to, again, kind of break up some of the color. Pretty much when you're working with a really limited palette, you want to make sure you're not using a bunch of the same color next to each other, just because you want to break it up and kind of, put the pieces around. At least that's what I've been learning. You just kind of want everything to be cohesive, but you also want to move the colors around and make sure they're not like all bunched up together. I'm hoping that I've been following my own advice because I feel like some pieces I do have trouble with that. And that's why I like to start out with the background or start out with a certain area, and then it'll kind of transform from there. Because again, a lot of my art is just kind of experimental. It's very, maybe this would look good here, and I hope this doesn't look bad here. But this one was a little bit more planned in that I kind of stacked it, if you will, like black, red, black, red, black, red, with her skin being pretty much completely white. So it kind of pulled that, the white together, so I didn't really have to worry about that. And I've not really been using a lot of grayscale in this. I don't have a good reason for it, to be honest. Also, these ink blooms, as you know, like I've already mentioned in one of these videos, I have really been loving ink blooms, and I did it with the red and the black this time, and it is just so satisfying to watch. And I ended up drying it with my, it looks like a hair dryer, but I think it's an embossing gun. But I ended up kind of moving the pigment around, and it just ended up looking super good, and I loved it so much. And she just looks fierce. I am so happy I decided to do like an expression that I don't normally do, and maybe I will for the rest of these, but anyway, this piece is pretty much done. I ended up adding, again, that bleed proof white. Like, look, it makes everything go away, and it's just perfect. Like, what line on the arm? What lines on the fingers? Like, it's just amazing. This stuff is my holy grail, and it does dry out. Just a random tip, but if you ever get it, it does dry out, and it kind of looks like fiberglass, and it's really weird. But if you just put water in it and mix it around for a while, it'll be just fine, because I didn't use mine for months, and it ended up turning into this weird, like, glass slushy. At least that's what it looked like. And over the course of a few days, I just kept adding more water, and it works now. So I guess I figured it out. I don't know. But I'm using the Posca pen for a few final details, just like in the hair, and I think I add some on her skirt to make it like leathery looking. But yeah, this piece was really fun to work on, and the pose was fun, and I just love everything about it. So here's some fun, peely satisfyingness for you, featuring my new squid washi tape that comes out day after tomorrow, and I'm so excited. Anyway, yeah, here's a look at the final piece. I want to thank you all so incredibly much for hanging out with me today and watching the video. I love you all so much, and I just hope you're having a squidoodly awesome day. Until the next video, toodaloo! Oh shoot, I forgot to tell you, I have social media links in the description, and if you want to be a part of our cute squid pod, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified on when I upload new videos.